to our new podcast, new episode on self confidence. And today we'll be discussing how people get self confidence, the self confidence part, and we'll share our life stories or some incidents, anecdotes, and we'll give you some actionable items that you can do. As a matter of fact, when we were starting the our interview kind of thing, the podcast thing, I get to know Manish, his son, and that kid seemed really confident, and he has set the mood of our podcast thing.
Yeah.
And we'll begin now. Manish, how do we start?
Confidence, Amit, I always say to you off the camera that it's the skill. Initially, that was I did not have clue about it. I thought confidence comes through your conditioning kind of thing from your parents, from the upbringing, but that is not the case. Confidence is a skill, and you have to work upon it. You have to do it in spite of facing failure, and that is how everyone has been gone through to become confident. The person, when we look up to the person, when we see the people or person speaking fearlessly
Yeah.
in the public, we think that that person is an inborn confident person. It's not like that. That person must have started in his school days, or maybe must have been doing things before us, and that is why we think that that person is ahead of us in confidence in particular area. Suppose podcasting, we have started, it's maybe the 9th, 10th, 11th,
12th.
12th podcast. This is slowly and gradually when we keep doing the podcasting thing, we may do lots of things. We may get confidence in speaking, and I I feel that, and I strongly believe that when we would be doing our 100 podcast, our confidence level would be in at different level, at next level, and that happens with every skill. And these are also a skill, doing podcasting, conversation, communication. I always believe that everything we learn in this life time is a skill. It's not. It's everything is a learnable thing. Uh, we feel that it's. I have not. It's not my cup of tea. It's not like that. When we start doing that, initially we'll definitely face failure. We definitely make mistake. We make ourselves fool in anything. Even you are learning now scooty, you may have faced that. It's like no, since you are at your late 20s and learning to scooty, you may feel sometimes embarrassed that why I did not learn it in my school days, because a lot of people have. But this is the thing, unless you face those embarrassing moments, unless you face yourself as it is, you won't be confident. And we had dealt self acceptance in our earlier last
Yeah.
podcast, and it is a continuation, a corollary of unless we accept ourselves as it is, then only we can work upon ourselves and to get best version of ourselves. And being best version of ourselves, we have to have lots of skills,
Mm-hmm.
and and we have to repeat those skills. We have to practice those skills: public speaking, communication skill, podcasting, video editing, whatever skills you take a name of whatever we have learned in this, like gym kind of thing. Uh, I remember the first time, day one of the gym, I was like a fish out of water kind of feeling like that. That time I was nervous. What will happen if I use this equipment and people will start judging me? See this person, he doesn't know anything. Even I remember the day once, since all the equipment were new, I started in my one of the that floor guy had suggested that you start doing a treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
I went on the treadmill. I went start treadmill. It was like I was struggling to balance myself. The fellow next to me was saying, "Oh, it must be of day one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry." I was even more pathetic than you. You are even it's good that you can balance yourself a little bit. But I was really a total failure when it was a day one. So it was really give courage to me, really give confidence to me that, oh, okay, that fellow who is now like acting like a expert doing treadmill is had also started. So the one quotation I remember now, that every master was once a beginner,
Hmm.
and
Right.
then confidence comes from repeating and doing the same thing. Now we don't afraid of going on the treadmill, doing any but new equipment, of course, hesitate to use new equipment, thinking that if I might um, start using it in the not a particular manner. Again, trainer is there to guide us, but the confidence you have, and with confidence you ask to any person will definitely going to help you. So in every area, uh, we'll get confidence when you do repeatedly. So this is the introduction, in bit
Yeah.
long introduction part of the confidence. But I would like to know from Amit that what's his take on particularly on the self confidence, on which arena of his life he has done mistake but keep repeating and doing despite of failure. He is a little bit more confident in that particular area. If you throw light upon those part of your those area of your life, I mean.
So, as you said, Manish, it's when we compare ourselves to some very successful person or celebrities or some guy who's really successful in their field, we only see the success part, not the behind the scene part, and we start comparing. So the first thing that comes to our mind is that that guy or girl or whatever woman, whatever, is that she has innate talent, and I cannot be that guy. We all think that, as a matter of fact. But the truth is, most of those things can be learned. It's all about skills. Once you start practicing skills, you get to learn. I remember, as you mentioned, me learning to ride scooty. I was really hesitant. Like, I used to see people ride bike and scooty and everything, and I thought to myself like I would never be able to use ride a bike in full traffic. But nowadays I'm doing it, and that really inspires me in a way that because I started practicing and making mistakes in the way, I might become a good speaker. Which is right now I really get anxiety attacks, panic attacks, kind of thing, when I go on stage. What will I say? How will I say? I see this good speaker, even like Manish, he speaks really well. I see them, and I feel like they are the Virat Kohli and Sachin Tendulkar of those field. So yeah, so that's the motivation. I think to myself that maybe if I keep going, no matter how badly I speak, I will feel embarrassment, awkwardness, but eventually I will learn speaking in front of public in a coherent manner. That's one, yeah, and one of the story that I'd like to share is I always share this gym story. So all the cool kids in the college, they used to go to the gym, and I had been delaying going to gym because I thought these are only for cool kids and rich kids, son of
Yeah.
commissioners, son of Supreme Court lawyers. They used to go there. So if I go there, I will only make fun of myself. In college you have such mentality. What will I do? What exercise will I do? No one is there to teach me. This all was my self limiting beliefs, and I challenged it. Somehow I started reading books and everything. uh, Reading books gave me a perspective, so I challenged that thought. I went to the gym. I did whatever the workout the trainer suggested, and slowly I started gaining confidence. And you won't believe, like, gaining confidence in one area of life, like going to the gym, it had this snowball effect. Like, I was confident in other areas of life, and soon after that, I joined Toastmaster, I was really, really afraid, Manish. You won't believe. It was like jumping off the building. I was that afraid. But I went there with my shaking legs and shaking hands. I gave one or two talks in one of the club, and somehow I gave the talk during the in the Toastmaster Club in Delhi, and that made me confident. Not confident like the confidence showed in other areas of life. I was able to ask question to the professor, directly and confidently. uh, the juniors started looking up to me. I was the head boy. The professors would come and they would say, do this, do that. So that's how that what I mean is, with skills, with practice, it feels like you are not going to reach. But I want to challenge our viewer that why don't you do it for a month? Go to a Toastmaster club, speak for a while, and then see the changes in other parts of your life. That is the only way to challenge your thoughts, put into practice, challenge your inner critic. So those are the things, Manish, I'd like to say.
Yeah, Amit, you rightly shared your experience of in going to Postmaster, learning to ride bike, and then hitting gym the
Yeah.
first time. It was daring, of course, a courageous act to start with every action. But to my experience regarding the public speaking thing, what I observed and experienced that here and of everyone, I had even, I don't know whether you were there or not. I shared one quote that there there is two kind of a speaker. One who says that who is a liar, and who says that I'm not afraid, and second is the uh, person who really fear public. He has fear. So everyone has fear of public speaking, but the moment you step onto the stage, fear just vanishes. It's the apprehension, it's the excitement. The moment you step to the stage, you don't fear. Afraid just vanishes, and that is how the fear works. I remember one story of Krishna and Krishna Balaram. You know Balaram?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was a big brother of
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yeah.
So they both one evening they went for the walk, and they really went deep down in the jungle.
Hmm.
And then suddenly sky become dark and cloud started. It feel like that they have gone way ahead, deep in the jungle. So they decided not to go back to. They did not have time, and then think that they can go back to their residence. So they decided to stay there in the jungle, and then they find a clearing down the tree, and they started to relax. And Krishna has always he has one bansuri, that flute in his hand. And then Balarama heard something, some kind of uh, sound behind the bush next, just nearby.
Hmm.
Then he went to see what is that. So there was two eye, really dark eye, watching him. He got afraid. What is that? Who in a very in the wake of fear he started. Who is this? Who is this? So that eye then become bigger, and that person become bigger than the Balrama. And then Balarama could not speak up to wake up the Krishna. Krishna was there, but he did not sleep. But he could not speak to ask help from Krishna. So afraid. So the more he become fearful, those that image, that things become bigger and bigger. And then the there was time when that humongous figure take over the Balrama, and Balrama fainted.
Hmm.
Then that figure of it's like a a very, you can say that it's a very different kind of figure which really everybody could get frightened. So that figure can come to the Krishna. Krishna was unfazed. He was just he saw in that eyes of that creature, and started and then smiled and started his flute, and went to his memory lane and singing. That creature became furious. Why Krishna is not getting afraid? Why he is like that? The more he started putting tantrum, the more Krishna become calm and cool. Slowly and gradually, what happened that the big gigantic creature becomes so tiny that after some time it just uh, vanished. So then Balrama came to the Krishna and asked, how could it be possible? What did you do? You were fully unfazed, and you were very calm and cool, and I was really afraid. Then Krishna said, this is our fear. This is our fear. The more you fear from that afraid, that thing will become bigger and bigger and bigger. You have to face that, and then if you maintain your cool and calm, that fear will definitely vanishes. So that is what happens when we get afraid. We afraid and we think apprehending about the outcome. What will happen if I make this mistake? But I don't remember any time fear was there. But the moment we get to the stage to speak, there is no fear as such. It's because we have to concentrate on the speaking. What since the spotlight light is on you have to speak something, so your mind is focus in that particular area, so there is no fear is, of course, it's our made up from of our mind. So that is what I learned from the story also, and I experienced also, that it's only because of our thinking, and that thinking will definitely goes away when our mind gives the n number of evidences of facing the fear. Suppose we have been delivering TMOD or speeches maybe 50th times, our mind will give them n number of example that, see, you have performed well, you have done this, why this are afraid. So then that those fear will totally cool and calm, will make you cool and calm. Oh, I am not confident because I have done in the past. So our mind start exploring and start searching for the evidences, and evidences comes from the that you give it a try. Unless you give it a try, evidence won't come. So that is the main point. That is the vicious loophole where people really get stuck. Think that no, this is I have done enough thing in my mind. But unless you take action, how will your mind conceive it? Because our mind, we know, they have no distinction between thought and action, reality and thought. Our negative mind think whatever thing we our mind feel that this is true, because our both side of mind give their argument.
Yeah.
So unless our the positive mind has a strong argument, a strong evidences, our negative mind will beat that positive mind. And that is what is the crux of the confidence. We'll have to try new things, and time will come. Our mind have enough number of evidences to show that, see, you have done in the past, and this is the you are an expert in it, and that is I call confidence, and as per my experience.
Yeah, Manish, I would say when you reach the stage, it's not the fear that is that starts bothering you. It's the thought of making a fool of yourself, what the people will think. This self-sabotaging thought comes to mind, which withhold us to, inhibits us to speak,
Yeah.
and that's what people are, you can say, afraid of, making fool of themselves. And as a matter of fact, most of the people are not thinking about you. You can do this experiment, assuming you have a friend who is really shy and who does not speak up. What happens if he goes on the stage and blabbers and is unable to speak up? Will you make fun of him? No, of course not. You will empathize with him, right? So most of the people sees that way. It's not they are there to make fun of you, or once we realize the idea that people are not there to judge you, people are there to listen to you, and that can only be achieved, that realization, through practice. So you have to go on the stage, speak up. And not only the stage thing, you
Yeah.
might need your confidence to approach a girl, someone you like, or to speak up in a group meeting, or to
Ryan is laughing.
yeah. Rihan might need the self confidence.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the actionable, the key takeaways is, you need to practice. I mean, you need to go up and face the challenges. It feels like you won't be able to speak like the person whom you idolize, and it may be true that you won't be able to speak like him. It may, but it can be you can speak better than him if you
Yeah.
only can practice. That's there's this saying, humans have the innate this potential, and sky is the only limit. You won't know what you are capable of until you put yourself in that situation. So go out, try new things, as Manish said. Try the things you are afraid of, and eventually the self confidence thing will come around. So you have to be you have to be a fool. There is a saying, the fool is precursor to the master. So before you become a master, you have to be a fool. It's awkward and everything for you, but the people are not thinking that. And with that, Manish, you have something to add?
Yeah, just when you were adding some quote, I remember the person who does not ask questions in a class, like me, and you may be the person who does not want to ask questions, can make fool of for a one time. But the
Yes.
person who asks the question, who asks the question can may make fool of himself for one time. But the person who does not ask any questions, fool make fool of the lifetime and
Yes.
become like that. So that is what we have to do, something out of our comfort zone. We nobody. I don't remember um, anyone's raising a hand and asking questions now and making fool of them. Even my college days have gone. Even now is the time. So you also don't remember anyone's who
Yeah.
must have done mistake while asking questions, but we don't remember. Why would we bother? We must have appreciated that person, that see that person has courageously asked question. So that is
Hmm.
little things we'll have to include in our lifetime, and nobody is there to judge you. And it's our life journey. It's and then whoever person meets in this journey is the that traveler with us for some time. They meet us to make our life journey somehow more successful. Somehow they all are there to make my life journey or your life journey to become like we met with each other. That must is the destined to meet. We don't know the all the equations of the universe. We really don't cannot know. But since we crosses our path in this journey, there must be some purpose. So that is the only you have to concentrate on your life, not about others. And everybody is like that. Everyone is concentrating on their life. I remember my setbacks, my failure. I don't remember the failure and setbacks of other. Even you won't remember my journey. I can remember the I have done blunders while doing um, speeches in while submitting my project, briefing my project. I remember those making mistakes in interview. Why I only remember my mistake? Because this is my journey. This is my life, and we and the people we meet through social fabrics, or through professional fabrics, those are the person to make our life successful. We have to optimize those. We have to respect those persons. Those all persons are some kind of a teacher or guru who has must. So the person has bullied you. That person also taught you something. The person who has become friend to you taught you some way. Everyone is there uh, to make you your better version. You have to just be happy that and be thankful to the God and that people are there in our life. So with this, Amit, we think that already we have
Yeah,
spent so much time
few
elaborating the
minutes,
self
true. Yeah,
confidence.
I
Self
hope I hope one of our special audience, Mr. Rihan, is listening
yeah.
to us. And
Rehan,
when
please come.
school opens,
He will have our he will be our audience, live audience who will give feedback in on our podcast. Rehan,
so
tell about something about our podcast. Yeah, please come.
so one of our audience, Mr. Rihan,
Yeah,
will go ahead, Rihan.
yeah. Tell us something. Come this side. How was it going? How was you must be listening to our conversation or not? Huh?
Yes,
You were listening. So tell me, how was it? How did it feel to you?
it was nice.
Mm.
Uh,
Elaborate. Yeah. Nice in what sense?
So tell me this, Rihan. Yeah, if the school opens in next month, August, will you ask more questions, because that way you will build confidence. And as a matter of fact, your father and me, we said that we don't remember people laughing at us. I mean, so people doesn't care, and if you do that, you'll gain confidence. So will you do it? If you do it, how will you do it, and in which class will you ask the questions?
Do you ask questions? Many questions in school. Why? Do you hesitate?
no, I don't hesitate.
Do you feel shy?
No.
Do you feel that people make fun of me asking this question, this little question which everybody knew answers? Nothing, no thought. That must be the reason. You must be thinking that, oh, this must be the foolish kind of questions I may be asking. I should not ask because everybody knows the answer already. And if I will ask, I would ask, people would think that, oh, she's such a idiot. How could he ask such a simple question? Is it is this the reason? Tell me honestly. Tell us. You are the live audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the reason. Yes.
And also sometimes the teacher doesn't tell the answer because of that reason.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's
It's
all
up
right.
to
Yeah,
them.
it's all
It's
right.
not under your control. Whatever under your control is to ask questions, irrespective of people, what people are thinking. Do you remember? Suppose Rais, your friend Rais, had asked a question in a particular class. Do you remember what kind of question he asked? No.
See,
Anyone's questions must have no. So how can you say that people will remember your questions? They are not bothered that what you are asking is in our mind, in your mind only, in our mind only. So this is the crux of our podcast today, and since you are live again, anyway, these are the. And apart from that, did you did you get anything from our podcast? Did you
yeah.
listen any point, particular one line?
Or how can we improve, Rihan? Like, how can we improve our podcast thing? You have any feedback?
Give us suggestions, feedback.
Yeah.
Don't. Yeah. Yes. Tell me.
You all can if you all have an idea of a very long podcast, then you can reduce it to into parts.
Yeah,
Like one
yeah, we have been thinking about that.
because
Very
sometimes
great idea.
because mostly the podcast whenever I check on YouTube my dad's podcast, I see that they are very long
Yeah,
podcasts.
true, true.
Literally no views. That's why you guys can reduce it into 10 and 15-minute part podcasts.
Okay. And
So
another feedback.
so people can feel that this is actual
Yeah,
valuable.
we will definitely look into it. We
You know,
in
we'll take a note of that, Manish. No,
yeah,
we'll discuss
think
about
about
that.
it. Yes. And any other thing?
Like adding some effects and nice intros,
Oh, okay.
Intro.
so separate from the video.
Separate from video.
Like
Yeah.
what kind of intros?
15-second intro that you will guys will make separately. Then you can add it to
Ah,
the
yeah,
main
that's a great idea. I mean, Manish. Yeah.
recording
Yeah, we
and
can.
add a little transition between, so
Yeah.
that it could be kind of fancy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's really, I mean, that's really good. We'll do that.
And yeah, that's a great Rehan. Thank you for your feedback.
Yeah, thank you, Rihan. Thank you for the
You keep
feedback.
listening to our podcast. At least you are my son.
Yeah,
you
you are our only audience.
you be our subscriber. And he always tells me whenever that things pops up, video is uploaded, you post the video, he tells me, Daddy, no, that thing has come up.
Yeah. So yeah, we will let's finish the podcast. It's still
Yeah.
recording. So
Thank you,
Rihan,
Rehan.
the bottom line is ask questions, and with that, we are signing off. Bye bye. Take